welcome back to Silk's Detailing, and in today, no detailing. In fact, we're doing a mod in the Nissan, which is currently where I'm sitting. This has taken a little while to get to this point. This mod I ordered Black Friday, and then because of all the issues we had with lockdowns, customs, it took a little while to get here. But today we are in fact changing the seats over, hopefully. And I say hopefully because I've actually ordered some Braum seats from VIP Motorsport, and why I say probably is the suggested bases which you use with Braum are planted, and speaking to the guys on the forums, which probably end up watching this, the driver's side one you actually have to modify. You have to cut some bits off and re-weld it. I'm not a welder, I ain't got a clue how to start with that. So I asked a load of local garages and people who do welding, and nobody was prepared to do it because of the safety precautions. If there was to be an accident, for example, and you know the seat base was to fail, they didn't want any comeback coming to them. So a little bit of research and speaking to a few more guys. I can't actually remember his name, don't know whether I should say his name either, but somebody actually recommended OMP bases, and he's running the same suits I've got, or which I've bought, and he's running the OMP bases. So what we're going to do is take these seats out, make sure the OMP ones sit flush on the floor nice, and then I need to modify them slightly to get the Braum seats to fit onto the bases. And then we'll also go through the aspect of, once you take your seats out, you're going to have your airbag light flashing unless you put your resistors in. So I've got two different types of resistors, and I hope the easiest one works. If not, I'm going to have to get out my dodgy soldering skills and show you what we do with that. So let's get on with getting these seats out, and then we can have a look at what happens next. So with the mats out of the way, I've started with the front. So you need a 14mm socket, and there's two plastic caps on here which are just flicked off with a screwdriver. I'm now going to move the seat forward to get to the bolts at the back, and then this seat will be out. Okay, so here we are in the back, and I've just popped this one here. Just going to get a little screwdriver just underneath there and just pop it off, and then I'm putting them inside here just so I've got everything. Okay, so what I've done is just put the OMP base in, and as you can see, all the holes line up perfectly. It is flat, obviously just needs bolting in. So what I now need to do, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back out, rest the seat on top of this. I'm going to slide the seat all the way forward on the sliders to leave a hole at the back, drill the holes at the back where it needs to go, then take it off the mounts, and then mark up on the front where I need to drill the front holes, and everything should be good to go. When you take your seat out, you're going to have to disconnect your harnesses, and I believe this one is the airbag. I just need to double check that, and this one is where we might have to cut this off and then put the resistor, either bare wire it onto there, so solder it onto here. But I have got a resistor which I hope could plug in here, which won't cause me any issues, but we'll get to that part when we get there. I'm just going to get the hoover and hoover this side, and then actually we'll take the other side out and then we'll hoover it all together in one go. Okay, so this is the airbag light, or resistor, or connector, whichever. I did buy some little resistors to put in and hope that I didn't have to cut this plug off. I don't know where I've put them now, but it didn't work. The airbag light is still on. These little ones here is what I bought, and I hope that I could just push them in the end, but it's not going to work. So what I've had to do, I had to buy these. These are 2.2 resistors. If anyone wants any of these, just put a comment down below and I can send them out to you if you just contact me and give me your address details. There's 50 in here. I should only need 2. So I've got the soldering iron over here warming up, and what I'm going to have to do is cut this plug off and then strip these wires, and hopefully by soldering one of these on either end it will take the airbag light off. So I'll just get this all prepped up now while the solder gun warms up. Okay, so in this bit I'm just showing you how I'm putting the sliders on. This is actually step 1 I'm doing, just waiting for the bases to turn up. But what I've actually found is, if you look inside this slider here, if I can get that to look right, there is the second sort of elongated hole, and that fits perfectly in this bottom hole down here. For then, if you look over onto this top side, there's 3 holes at the top, that then goes into here. And what you want to do is, when you're putting your sliders on, you want to make sure that the bit which you compress is at the front of the seat. And then what we do, then have to wedge our compression bar, which then enables you to slide the seat back and forth. I'm not sure you can better see this, but in the side here there's these 2 holes, and then on the side of this slider here there's 2 little forks, or like little stick out bits. They then wedge in there, and then the same on this side, and then that enables you to then close the seat back and forth, or move the seat back and forth on the sliders. So when you start with your slider, push it in, that's how it's going to come out looking like. So press it in, push it forward, then it enables you to get into that bottom hole. So you need a size 6mm Allen key to get these bolts at the bottom here. So then we're going to drop a bolt in here, put a washer on the back, I'd never done sliders before. I've never really done anything with seat construction, so this is helping. I had to look it up, so hopefully this will help one of you guys. So then do that in, but not tight. We then want to compress our bar, push it back, and then I don't know if you can see on there, there's 3 holes in the top here. We put a light on there. There's 3 holes in the top here, and we want that top hole because that's going to line up with that one in there. So I'll do that now. So get that started, and then we just make sure everything it fits in line. Now what I have seen some people do is they push this compression bar in before they put the bases on. I recommend you use a vise. I'm struggling to get the other one on properly. It is on, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but before I put the seats in the car I do want to have a go at getting them on, because these holes are really tight to get on here. It's under a lot of compression. So once that's then on, we can obviously move the seat up and down, and then we'll use these holes and bolt that to the base plates, and I'll show you that section when that arrives, which should be here Monday. So we'll cut this thing now and we'll come back to it once we get the next section. So the seat is now just sitting on top of the base, and what I'm going to do now is just measure the gap between here and here, and then the same on the other side to make sure it's evenly spaced at the back, and then halfway down, and then at the front. Then I'm going to drill one of these holes here to mount the back to. Once it's drilled and mounted to the back, I can flip the seat upside down, slide it all the way forward, and then mark the inside at the front, take the seat off the base, drill the front, and then we should be good to mount properly onto the base. So with my measurements, what you need if you're using these OMP bases is an inch from each side is equal to keep the seat square on the base. So what I'm now going to do is just tap a small hole into one of these, take the seat off and drill it out properly, then mount it back on to then slide the seat back. So let's get on to this. Right, so here we are with the base or the bottom holes in. As you can see, it's only marginally out from the original holes. But what I've done now is slid it all the way forwards, and where is it? Here we go. If you can see this, what I've done is I've counted 11 teeth down here each side, so now I'm evenly spread out across each side, so that when we do the top holes we're straight. Now what I'm thinking I'm going to do is just put some paint or something on my finger and then just go over the top here and then find the first hole. I don't know, yeah, so the first hole is roughly where my thumb is here, so the top is slightly, well, it's further out than what the bottom is, but once I can mark the top, because I don't really want to drill it on the seat in case the drill goes all the way through and then into the bottom of the seat. So if I can mark the top, take it off, drill it, and then should be able to mount it all back up properly, and then we should be able to get this one in the car after we put the seatbelt buckle on. So I'll have a look, see what I'm going to do, and then I'll let you know what I found is the best way to mark this up. Bear with. Okay, I'm actually feeling slightly deflated at the moment. I was really happy with how the base has gone on the seats. I was really quite anxious around drilling these because I didn't want to get it wrong. And I've actually drilled them properly, drilled them right, they're all in the right place. But that bolt is just hitting the bolt which holds the seat onto the slider. Luckily, Lindsay, who just lives up the road, he's a fellow Zedder. He's actually having my standard seats, so he's going to come pick these up tonight. He's going to take my bolts and he's going to grind that little bit off. So what I'm going to carry on doing is the driver's seat, I'm going to mount that up. I've put the seat belt buckle onto this seat, the passenger seat. So I'm going to get on, or carry on with the driver's side now. So then once the bolts are all grinded down, all I've got to do is put them on the bases and then go straight into the car. Doesn't feel like it's going to happen today though, so we'll carry on. So again, we've got the back in place to where I feel it needs to be at the moment. So we need to go up to the top, and you can see just through there the original hole isn't too far out, so that hole just needs cutting out slightly at the top. And we come across the other side and you can just about see that there is a long hole just behind there, so we just need to put a hole just beside here on this one to have them in place. And I've kind of done a little spirit level check, and you can see it's not, just needs a little tweak there to keep it level. I don't know if this is even relevant or not, but I thought I'd give it a go. So I'm just going to tweak around and just get the base off and then drill these holes. What I did on the other one, just I put like a little blob of paint on the inside of my finger, and then what I did, I went down the inside and then I just pressed into, if you can see, so I pressed my finger like that inside to make an impression on the underside of the base. So when I took it off, I knew where to drill. For me, that was just the easiest way. Someone out there might have some sort of scientific, professional way, but you know, I'm a weekend warrior, that's what I've done. So I'm just going to line this up and then get these next holes drilled out. Okay, we are a few days later from where I last was. I don't know how good this video is going to be, but the point of this video was to show you that you don't need planted bases, you can use OMP. They just need a slight alteration. As you could see on some of the pictures or some of the videos, I hope, it's roughly an inch in from each side of the rails where you have to drill your holes for the actual Braum seats. I'm not nowhere near mechanically minded, and I've managed to do it. They sit flat, they sit flush, they sit straight. I've got no issues with the OMP bases whatsoever. The planted ones, like I said in the first part, you have to get someone to cut and weld. Well, that's what I've been led to believe, and that's from 3 people within the forum who have got Braum seats. They've had to cut and weld because how the transmission tunnel sits, the planted bases don't sit flush, and you have to cut some brackets off, re-weld them into the correct place. I couldn't find anyone to do that, so I've gone for the OMP. Some guy in the forum, I can't remember his name, he actually messaged me directly to say you don't need to use planted, you can use OMP. I've gone with, I took his word, I've gone with it, and I'm happy with the results. So what I'm going to show you now is the finished article with the seats in the car. Massive shout out to VIP Motorsport for sorting me out with these seats, and I have got the next install on the way from VIP, so I can't wait for that. So big thumbs up to Neil. I'll leave a link in the description for his website if you are interested in any parts. But anyway, it's cold, it's snowing. Let's show you these seats and let's get this done.